My name is Joey Kemmerling. I'm from Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I founded the Equality Project. The Equality Project is an organization founded to combat bullying in the educational system. When it was originally formulated, it was meant to be run by kids for kids. And that's really where it stayed. We travel around the area. Now, we have been to several places, including Chicago, LA, Pennsylvania, New York, etc., etc. And we speak out against bullying. More importantly, we do it in front of students, and we do it through social media and also media like CNN. The Equality Project was not supposed to be what it turned into. When I originally formulated it, I really just planned to vent. So I created the group, and I would go on every night, and I would just kind of talk about everything that happened that day, anything that frustrated me, got me angry, and I figured, maybe I had 50 or 75 people join. Within 8 days, we had over 1,100 members who were all telling stories. And all the stories were the same. That schools across America did not know how to deal with the issue of bullying. So from there, NBC called and they had me go on the air. And while I was on the air, I had mentioned the Facebook group, and next thing you know, the Facebook group jumped to 3,000. And then ABC did an interview. And then from there it jumped to like 5,000. And then I went on CNN. And after that it jumped to over 7,000. It wasn't really a question for me as to what I was going to use. It was just a question as to when I was going to use it. Facebook just kind of became a part of my life. I used it all the time. I think just about everyone here now knows Facebook better than our parents. Twitter has 140 characters, I believe, limit. Facebook doesn't. That was the first big thing. The second big thing is that you can make it as a group, and this was back 2 years ago. And you can post whatever you want to on there, and I was able to screen it, and what I didn't like I was able to delete. But more importantly, it was what I knew. It felt good for me to be able to use social networking, and it made my life go, my story become very well known. I was a student in a school like any other, and I came out as gay. And I didn't know what to expect. I was 13. I know I didn't expect to be bullied to the extent that I was. And I know that I lost my innocence at much younger of an age than I should have. But more importantly, I learned very quickly that in order for me to survive, I was going to need to do something. And there were times where I went through really bad depressions. The biggest depression was definitely 10th grade. And when I overcame that, right away I knew that I needed to turn to Facebook. I felt comfortable there, but more importantly, I could articulate what I felt, and I could do it through a Facebook group. It's interesting because Formspring, I don't know if you're familiar with Formspring. Formspring is an anonymous question group, so you can post questions without leaving your name or information. And I would get a lot of hate mail on Formspring. A lot of things like go die, fag. There were a lot worse that I'm not going to mention. But it was tough. And so when we made the Facebook group, we were discussing how we were going to do it. And we felt that kids were going to be able to be more honest when they were able to do it from the comfort of their own home, first of all. But more importantly, they were able to type it confidentially to me and know that I would be able to respond without the fear of others retaliating against that person for speaking out. The community of the Equality Project Facebook group was very interesting because it became like a family. There was one girl from England in particular. She weighed I would say 275 pounds. So she was heavy, and she was made fun of every day for it. And she would come on and she would talk, and we would respond back and forth, and we would have probably about 30 to 40 comments every single night on hers, just touching on what happened that day and how we can help each other. It became like a support group, an unofficial support group of all of the different kids who have been bullied, and how do you deal with that? But more importantly, it just helped us know that we weren't alone and that we had someone else. Facebook has pros and cons. One of the cons is that if you haven't met the person in person, you're not supposed to be friends with them. That was tough because of the location of some of the people. I couldn't go out and meet them. But Facebook has a lot of pros that are better than meeting in person. For one, you're going to get a better turnout. Kids don't always feel comfortable going in person and talking about something as serious as bullying, especially if they are someone who bullies. It is interesting because we've had a lot of people post on there and apologize. And it was just interesting because as we continue to expand, though we've moved away from that Facebook group and we moved into another segment of our career as the Equality Project, we still use Facebook almost as much, if not more, than we did before. We have our own website now, but we still use Facebook more than anything else. Facebook is a nice way to advertise, first of all, because you get the word out there. For instance, when we made our new t-shirt, we put it on Facebook and we said anyone want to buy, and we got hits right away. We would not have been able to do that from email. We would not have been able to do that from in person.
Why?
Because some of these people are in Las Vegas, some of these people are in LA. We had one person who wanted them from England so bad we had to charge a lot of shipping, but they wanted it and they contacted us through Facebook. I think the two biggest things for us as the Equality Project were the event page and private messaging. Private messaging speaks for itself. Some kids don't want to speak out, and so they wanted me to anonymously post for them. And when they private messaged me, I was able to copy and paste that information into the group. The event page was critical to our success. We used it all the time, and we continue to use it today. In fact, there's an event up there for a couple weeks from now, and there was an event up there for yesterday. So it just comes down to we need it because not everyone's going to know. And we aren't in that time where everyone is looking around as they walk for flyers. Nowadays, people are turning to their phones. Half the people I see on the street have their phones out looking on Facebook or texting someone. It's nice to be able to have that connection through an event page. It's funny when I look at my Facebook because I have so many memories put on my profile through photos and videos. The photographs add a lot of credibility to the organization, but more importantly, they show what we're doing. People can hear that I spoke at the House of Representatives, but it means a lot more when they see me in that press conference speaking, and they see and they hear and they get the message. It's a lot more powerful. Social media tends to bring people in a lot more because of the, I guess you would say, comfort level of having your friends around you. You're able to talk about issues, you're able to debate about issues, but more importantly, you're able to express yourself. The Equality Project will always use social media, and that will be our platform. More importantly, it will be how we are able to reach out. I'm thinking Twitter is going to become a big part of our organization. The nice part is Twitter connects to my Facebook, so whenever I post on Twitter, it automatically posts to my profile and to the Facebook group. So it's a nice way to get a lot of people informed, even if they're not a part of the event itself. For the future, we don't know what's going to happen. We have no idea. This has been such a journey of just unexpected twists and turns. We had no idea it was going to turn into what it did, and we're going with it, and we will continue to go with it. But we will go with it with social media, because social media is where we started. We started with Facebook, and we will end with social media. I'm Joey Kem, and I use social media to make a strong community.